Hello everyone, and welcome to our very late Pokemon card live stream. I'm starting at 12 a.m. in the morning, which means if you're in New York, it's 1 a.m. in the morning. And if you're in California, it is, what would it be, 10 p.m. at night? Actually, that's not too bad. It's more of a regular night stream, wouldn't it? Right, and then in Europe, it would be very early in the morning. It's an adults only live stream. 3:30 p.m. in Australia, perfect. Perfect timing. Let's see, I was just going to do something. Oh, I noticed that the title is wrong on this. Let me go fix the title. You know what's weird? When I type in card on my cell phone, it autocorrects it to car with two R's. I have no idea why it would do that. I don't even know what a car with two R's is. Sunday night. Late Pokemon card stream. There we go. That's all better. That's right, card stream, baby. Vroom, vroom. Oops, I ran over this wire. So it's a late night live stream. I don't really know what to expect from you guys. We did a fun little giveaway yesterday of half a booster box, which was really cool. I probably won't be doing that again tonight. That was just a sort of a one-time deal that we did just for fun to tease the people that weren't at that live stream. And tonight we'll probably just have more of a normal live stream. It'll probably be shorter because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. But I couldn't help myself. We had to do one live stream before I go to bed. So I didn't do any other live streams. Actually, you know what I did today? My wife and I went on a really long walk. It was like an hour, 20 minutes, I would bet. Really long walk. And it's like, man, it's like 95 degrees where we live. So it's extremely hot. And we came back so exhausted we could barely move. We just laid on the couch for a while. So it's so hot. Professor Vince says, expect shenanigans. Do you have an Instagram? I do have an Instagram. I don't really use it. Should I be using it? I don't even know how Instagram works. That's how little I use Instagram. CAR is a stock abbreviation for Carrier Global Corp. Oh, well, there you go. I'm in school, sneaky live. Sweet. TCC, don't forget the PSA 10, Ray. Oh, yeah, I think it's right here, right? Right here. Yes, the subby bought this right at the end of the last live stream. Very cool. So that's yours. In fact, we'll put it behind me now. That's ready to be shipped. We'll probably do the shipping Tuesday night. Or push it back a day. What do we got here? Here are the cards I have waiting to be sent off to be graded. The Venomoth. This Typhlosion, Grimer, Gyarados, some really cool cards. Many of these will not get 10s. We already know from looking at them over the last week. Oops. So we got this what is it? It's a Miracle Energy, something like that. Ninetales, Vulpix, Flareon, Lapras. A lot of Rocket Returns in there. That's a set I'm personally working on. These were in auction. I thought they were kind of nice, and I bid on them, and I won. Nobody contested them, so that was pretty cool. Blaine's Charizard, Wobbuffet, Dark Dragonair. A lot of nice little cards. I'm building up a little bit of a submission, huh? Put these up top, finally. Give me a second. We've got a little bit of a submission going. Try to put more together and send one out. How many more $5 mystery packs do we have left? There's quite a few left. We had just started. So there's quite a few of them. These are all non-10s. These are like 8s, basically. But that's okay. I'm trying to build up a really large collection of PSA cards so that we have something to give away in the mystery packs all the time. Because one of the things I'm learning is that I don't have enough PSA cards to keep up with the mystery packs. You guys just go through them. Put that up there. Maybe tonight's the night that I go through all of my booster packs on my own. I just open up every single one, and we get a bazillion cards to send off to PSA. Let's see. Why don't I start by opening up a pack of Cosmic Eclipse for myself? Let's do 3. You know, I never opened Cosmic for myself. I need to start opening some Cosmic. I want that Charizard Brexin. I never pulled it. I never pulled Charizard Brexin. That's not fair. We going on drought on that mystery packs. Hope you pull a good card. He fell to the temptation. I just absolutely love Pokemon cards and collecting Pokemon cards. It is probably my favorite thing at this point. Hey, we got a coughing. That's a trainer full art. I think we can send that one off, actually, if it doesn't have any white dots on the back. Well, it does look like it's off center. We'll save it for another day. We'll save it for another day when it's old. We'll send it off then. Move this over here. I started collecting because of COVID-19. Nothing else to do, huh? Sitting at home, relaxing, working on your card collection. Well, for me, I think I always had the kind of personality of somebody who would enjoy collecting. I'm not really an outdoorsy type, and I'm a weird. There must be other people like this. I like money. I like money, not just like the whole concept of, oh, I'm rich, but like the feel of it, the look of it, the idea of it. You know, so maybe you would put me into the category of somebody who loves the way gold looks or loves the way diamonds look. It gives me a terrific feeling. And cards are the same way. I see cards kind of in the same category. Here, we're going to move Nate off to the side. So I'm not even talking about numbers in a bank account. You might be a millionaire. I'm just talking about the physical presence of money. You know what I mean? The idea of it. It's a really cool thing. I don't think I'm unique in that way either. I think a lot of people like it. I think that people like status items. People like think of the dwarves, right? So you had in fairy tales, dwarves would go mining for all their rarities. Think of dragons sitting on their gold, or goblins sitting on their gold. I've got that in me, you know. It's just natural for me. Move this over here. Was somebody asking about grading? I will send a card off for you as a service if you're interested in it, to have the card graded. Pick up Duskull. You can hire me to do it, and I will do it. Look at this Rosa. Put it over here. Did we not pull anything? I don't think we pulled anything. Oh, we got the coughing, and that was it. I'm gonna go a little deeper. Actually, let's just go real deep. I'll just take a bunch. What do you guys think? Half a box? Let's do half a box. How's it going, JV? That's my half box of Cosmic. I'm gonna see what I get from Cosmic. Maybe I'll get lucky, maybe I won't. Just open a whole box, you frick. Just open a case. Should we start doing that, Mahasvara? Maybe in the future I sell cases to the hardcore people. What do you think? Put a case up for sale? Mahasvara, if I ever reach a point where I can get the Pokemon cards as a distributor, I'll think about doing wild stuff like that. See, that's the thing, I'm not a distributor. You got places like Walmart and Target. I wonder what they get their cards for. They probably get their cards for like nothing. Here there is a Dark Muck lidded PSA 10 for 20. Should I buy? What? All right, here we go. Dark Muck, the uncommon rocket card, is a first edition. Oh, listed. Have you thought of collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards? I have thought about Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, snap, what do we get? Oh, nice. Awesome. How does this card look? Oh, man, it looks like there's some kind of weird edge on the bottom. Oh, no. I hope they don't take off for that. How's it looking on the back? Oh, there's no dots on the back. I wonder if this has a shot at a 10. Damn, dude. God, that would have been crazy if that had been Charizard, but this is actually pretty good too. Here we go. TCC, you talked about pulling that one. Yeah, well, no, I pulled the alternative art. 2, 3, 4. Here's Mawile, Heliolisk. Oops, hold on. Minosaurus says, hello, how's it going? How's it going, Minosaurus? Swoobat, Marshadow. What do we got here? 3, 4. We've got Azurill, Alolan Muck. What's my favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon is probably Tyranitar. I'm a big fan of Tyranitar. Togedemaru. I'd love to get a Red's Pikachu out of here. Let's see if we can get Red's Pikachu. I feel like it's time for a trainer art. It's Mimikyu. Isn't that weird? It's weird. It's like I knew it was time for a trainer art. You can almost feel it. You can almost feel it. So there's a Mimikyu. So we got Coughing Mimikyu. Here's Golett. Another greenback. Well, I'm lucky to have gotten the rainbow rare here because there are a lot of greenbacks right now. Getting all the greenbacks. Oh, that Dusknoir looks really cool. You know, he looks off-center though, doesn't he? Thick on the top. Yeah, we'll just put him in the pile. When a card looks really cool, I'm tempted to sleeve it. 4. What do we have here? Cosmog, Dragalge. Oh man, I feel another trainer art coming up. Oh, that was a greenback. What did I get? Oricorio. Oh my god. Off-center Oricorio. Place that up there. Next card. That's another greenback. This is really weird that was a greenback, but still had a card in it. Look, that's a holographic card. That should have been a white back, but it wasn't. What is this pile I have going on? This pile makes no sense. Did you buy Japanese cards? Straight from Japan? I flew over to Japan. I said $2 loose handy. They sold me 50 booster boxes. I got that booster box of Rocket. Did you guys remember that from the other day? I worked that out with the seller for like, I want to say about 3 weeks. We argued over price. On the topic of Madeira again, do you think Faith would be good? You do mean, do I think Cleric spells would be good? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember all the Cleric moves. No, I think you'd be better off using a weapon. I don't think that the Cleric spells are really that good yet. Though ever were, I should say. They're very slow. So if you used them, you would just always be at risk. Yeah, if you're using Faith, if you're casting Faith spells or whatever they're called, you will always be at risk of being punished during the frames. Do you prefer Japanese or English? I like Japanese. I also like Japanese. Yeah, the Japanese cards are terrific. I think they're terrifically underpriced right now. They're terrifically underpriced, and I'm pretty aware that they won't stay that way. Move this over here. Oops, looks like I might have accidentally thrown a holo in there somewhere. So I really didn't get that many pulls, just the Arceus Dialga and the 2 trainer arts. But you know what? I got the Arceus Dialga. And hopefully that can come back at 10, because if it does, I can make my money back on it. Let's take a look at this Mimikyu real fast. It's looking pretty well centered. Yeah, it looks pretty good too. I bet that has a shot at a 10. We'll send it in along with it. Go. So ultimately, this is what I got, were these 2 cards. From half a booster box, that's okay. I'm pretty satisfied picking up a Rainbow Rare. That's cool. I like that. I would say it's pretty break even though. I was hoping to get maybe a little more, but that's all right. Okay. How's it going, guys? Are you going to get the VMAX Gigantamax Charizard? I probably will, yeah. So I like the Dragon Slayer Great Axe. It has split lightning damage, like Nate said, and it does around 700. Yeah, I think that would be a very strong weapon to use on Madeira. In-game hero says, I'm trying to Nuzlocke to Shield game. I have 2 badges. Oh, cool. Right, I did get Oricorio, but the Oricorio was terribly off-center. Ryoma says, Japanese cards look great, You should, since they're low in price right now. Right. I was watching, you guys ever watch Z&G Emporium? He's great. I like his stuff. And he was doing kind of like some analysis or breakdown of how the cards have changed in price. You know, nobody's done that for the Japanese cards, and I'd be curious to see them get tracked, because these cards are fantastic looking. Look at this. Look at this Dragonite. He looks really fantastic. Why are they low price? I think it's because English buyers don't really think to buy them right away. I think they go straight over to buying the English ones first, which I suppose makes sense. Ryan says, I just go off eBay. Honest, I've gotten good prices. Yeah, for sure, man. Whew. Damn, I'm gonna go look. Skeeth is like, damn. I'm sad because I want a Neo Destiny box, but it's 26,000. I missed buying it at 5,000 a year ago. It's pretty crazy, right, Blazer? You know what we ought to do, Blazer? We ought to get me, you, maybe Miguel together, maybe Mahasvara together, and we ought to go in together on a Neo Destiny box. We'll buy fractions of it, percentages of it, and what I'll do is I'll store it in a vault, and I'll offer to buy your fractions off of you. Or we'll all just keep our fractions of the box and keep it sealed and see how it goes up over time. You see what I'm saying? Like a stock almost, or something like that. Wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be pretty cool. Mosbar's like, think about it. Suppose you took a $10,000 box and everyone agreed that they would pitch in $5,000. 4 guys, $5,000 each. You take the box, everybody owns a quarter. You wait for 10 years to go by, and then you divide those 4 quarters again, but 10 years later, the box is worth, let's say, 30,000. Well, now everyone's getting a much better deal out of that. He says, my max is 12K. All right, I'm in. We'll write up a contract right now. We'll have to get a lawyer involved. That'd be pretty wild. Pull out a loan for it. Any straight sword or dragon slayer axe and use lightning bundle or resin, infuse it to a physical stone depending on how much strength and dex you have. He's right, by the way. You could do a quality build. That would be like strength, dexterity, and then you just go whatever health is. I can't remember what health is anymore. It's called Vitality in Monster Hunter. But you would build for health, strength, dexterity. You'll probably bring, like, whatever it is, 15 faith, so that you can proc Tears of Denial. And then you just put on a thunder resin or lightning resin on your, what would it be? What would it be infused with? It would be infused with, I don't remember anything, man. I really don't remember very much of Dark Souls at all. It's been so long. Hey, you could have the smithy upgrade it, and then you could put that bundle on for extra damage. You can choose Madeira with the poo gas. Hell yeah. Really? Madeira can be poisoned with toxic? Heavy gem? Oh, heavy gem, right. Heavy, sharp. Gary from Pawn Stars did that. He sold half his Charizard collection for 110,000, I think. It's in a video with SM Pratt. I watched that video, Blazer. I actually watched that. Yeah, he sold a part of his Charizard collection, almost like allowing somebody to invest in it somehow. Isn't that strange? I wonder how they worked out the details of that. I suggest Lothric, Knight, like TCC said, Heavy Gem, and Pine bundles. That's right. It will do crazy damage. I like how we're talking about Dark Souls in the Pokemon card stream. It's crazy stuff. My wife and I have been playing Minecraft Dungeons together. It's been a lot of fun. Brennan says, there is spell to DOT over time, lightning buff, no summons, learn move says easy peasy. It's crazy, man. I haven't played Dark Souls in so long. It's strange to think that I used to play it literally every day for like 8 hours a day. I used to spend all day looking for people to invade, just sitting there. Best tip is to get good. That's right. Isn't that where that came from? The whole get good? That came from Dark Souls. Did it not? That was a Dark Souls meme. Get good. Dark Souls stream coming soon. Mosvar says, the only problem with me going in on a box is I just bought almost 5K worth. Don't know if I would want to dip into saving again. That's understandable, Mahasvar. You should make, you should make careful decisions for sure. It's just, it's a fun thing I'm tossing out there. Actually, if I was going to do that, I'd probably contact my brothers who I haven't seen in a long time. Tell them, hey, you want to invest in something that you can't afford? And I'd be like, give me all your money. They trust me, though. I know that.
More mystery for good measure.
If there was one thing I was known for when I was younger, I was known for handling money well. That was one thing that my brothers knew about me. Let me refresh that to see who bought that. When we were younger, we would pool our money together all the time in order to buy stuff like a GameCube, actually, or the Xbox. Yeah, we bought our first Xbox by pooling money together. It's Harry. He wants one more mystery for good measure. Sure, let's talk a little bit about the mystery games now, guys. We're officially going to be running 2 mystery games all the time. We're going to have a $5 mystery game and a $10 mystery game. The $5 game currently has Charizard Brexen and Zorua in it. Let's go ahead and grab a pack. So who's this for, Harry? You got it, Harry. All right. And place this right here. And the second box has a PSA 10 Rayquaza from Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates. Slow night, right? I was considering just skipping the stream altogether tonight. I was thinking about not having it at all. Hidden Fates. That's right. That's a noise that happens when you make a purchase. That's right. That's Streamlabs going off. It's called an alert box. I was thinking about updating my alert boxes. I haven't done that in a long time. All right, we opened some Cosmic. Why not a pack of Hidden? Sounded like a robot. Wasn't that Wobbuffet's cry? It might have been. Charmander, Kangaskhan. Oops, why did I just put those there? Those don't belong in there. Move this over here. And we'll move this over here. What's this, an energy card? I hope your pulls were better than yesterday. Well, not so far. I opened up 1 pack. You open more Hidden and it makes me want to snipe. Oh, man. He gonna steal that Charizard. I better stop. Slow day, huh? Nate would like 4 small mystery. You got it, Nate.
4 small mystery.
4 small mystery. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Who here remembers back in the day when DL and JC would come out and wipe out the lotto? Do you guys remember that? That was a crazy time. Do you remember how DL...
2 mystery packs, please.
2 mystery packs. Do you remember how DL would come in and he'd be waiting for the game to end and it wouldn't end fast enough, so what he'd do is he'd buy like 5 tickets and just give them away. He'd just give them away. And the craziest thing was he would win too, so it's like it didn't matter. He'd just give them away and win. Subby would like 2 of the $5 mystery packs. Those are some crazy days. Yeah, it was a big pee-pee move. We would joke about him having good karma. But, he didn't always win.
I'll try my luck with Ray again.
They would, he would win more often, I think, than you'd expect, but he didn't always win. Who's this? This is Roderick. Good luck, Roderick. Roderick, you got a 1 in 6 odds now. That sound had a tight hold over me. Oh, DL's here. How's it going, DL? Yeah, it was exciting, man. Remember a long time ago, Temlet bought King Taco like a single ticket for the lotto, and then King Taco actually won on that single ticket, and he won that secret rare Mewtwo from Unified Minds. And today, that secret rare Mewtwo is actually worth even more than it used to be worth. So now that Mewtwo is worth like close to 300. Jesus. He says, "Yo, my other Gmail account got deleted." Really? What? Wasn't there someone who always donated mystery packs, or was that UDL? He would donate tickets. Tickets, yeah. Everyone's hitting F in the chat. DL, you're not a mod? DL could be a mod, probably, if he wanted to be. JC also donated a lot. That's true. JC would he would go real deep, and then he would donate mystery packs as well. My powers were on the other account. Oh, there you go. DL. Speaking of mods, where's Cheese? Cheese probably asleep. I think Cheese goes to sleep at a pretty moderate hour. I don't think he stays up super late like I do. They deleted your Gmail account. What? That's not allowed. You're gonna have to sue. So my wife and I were watching some more history on Netflix, surprisingly, because it's so interesting. This time we're watching a show about the history of the creation of tanks for war. It's really interesting. His stepdad was in the ER. Oh, yikes. Damn promotion? What? Oh. Yeah, they were, I was learning how, he says, old promotion. That's right. I was learning how back then, the British didn't want anyone to know that they were developing basically what they considered land ships. They consider them like naval ships that could roll around on the ground. And they were doing this because of the combustion engine, which was kind of a newer invention. It wasn't super new, but it was a newer invention, and they were making automobiles back then. And they were at a standstill in World War I, where everyone had built trenches, and you couldn't really advance on each other at all. There was no advantage to advancing. So, in other words, your advantage was staying in the trench and waiting for the other team to kind of like rush you. And if they rushed you, you'd mow them down with your cannons and with your entrenched, snipers. And so both teams, both the Germany and the French and all them, they were building up. What's the World War II Netflix docuseries called? It was called World War II Greatest Moments in Color or something like that, because they took like war footage and they actually colorized it. It's really cool. Well, so in World War I guess they built these really great trenches so that they could defeat an approaching army, and both teams, neither one was willing to advance. So the war, all these people had died already, and neither side could figure out how to make an advancement. And so that's when they said, what if we took the naval ships that we use in the ocean and we just mobilize them? Because they know that the naval ships are made with all this armor on them. And so they're going to use the combustion engine to do that. And they come up with these really crazy designs. I've seen them before in like Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, in the other one. Was it Call of Duty? It might have been Call of Duty. But yeah, so for just a small amount of land. So they're designing these tanks and trying to figure out how do we get the plate on them thick enough that bullets don't penetrate. Battlefield, thank you, Mahaswara. Yeah, Battlefield, World War I. And it was so far it's been very interesting. I didn't know this, but the reason that they're called tanks is because that was actually a secret code name. So they didn't want anyone to know what it is they were working on, and as a code name, they called them tanks. And they were so bad at the beginning, the tanks were so bad and so poorly understood and so poorly utilized that the soldiers would call them septic tanks because they considered them garbage. What would happen is they would send the tanks out in these very small squadrons. There would be just a few tanks. And because there weren't enough of them, the German artillery was skilled enough to just shoot them up. They'd run out of fuel. They'd find some weakness in the side of the tank that they can shoot down. You know, you see this big armored tank coming for the first time in your life, and you just start shooting it. So there were all these mistakes that were kind of like, you know, the first Coffin on Tracks, that's right, the first guys driving them out there on the battlefield, they were almost fanatical about, oh man, we're going to win. And they actually get mowed down. And it causes like a nervous breakdown for the tank squadrons. So it's really messing them up to have believed that they were so safe in these boxes and that the boxes actually weren't that strong. And the idea of having to drive them back out there and just be a gigantic target on the battlefield was actually then very scary for them because they no longer felt confident after the first wave of them just get mowed down. And there were other things too, like the tanks were good at doing specific jobs like forcing people out of their trenches. But once the people are forced out of their trenches, the tanks aren't very good at killing anyone or really forcing them to surrender. And there's very poor communication back then. One of the things that was really remarkable, actually, I only watched one episode, but they were talking about how there was no communication when you're in the tank. You can't talk to other soldiers. You can't talk to your commanding officer. And the tank would actually be outfitted with, get this, it would be outfitted with a cage of pigeons. You would have pigeons, and you would attach a letter to the leg of the pigeon, and then there would be this tiny little pigeon door you can open and put your arm out to let the pigeon go, so you could send a message. And they would send messages like, my tank is on fire. My tank is broken. Send engineers. We have injured men in our tank. So they would literally grab a pigeon, write a letter, and then release it out of the side of the tank. It was crazy. Kind of like how they say the average lifespan of flamethrower troops in Vietnam is like 5 minutes. Whew, man. Didn't they keep sending troops to take the trenches? Well, I don't know all the details of World War One. I'm just watching this one video, I guess you'd call it like a docu-series, and so far it's been really fascinating. What's cool, they talk about some of the economic sides of having to build the tanks. It's actually quite expensive, and you would have companies who would make like tractors. They would transform themselves into companies that would make tanks, and the countries, the states, the people, the civilians had never seen tanks before. So what they would do in order to earn money for the war effort is after these bizarre tanks were made, they would drive them into town to show them off and say, hey, we'll sell you war bonds so that we can afford to make more of these. And everyone, it was actually, it was a spectacular success because people, when they saw the tanks, it was like, wow, this is technology. This is the future. This is amazing. And of course, they all want victory. They all want the war to end. And so they see these mechanized boats on land, and they'd be like, hey, we got the boats on land. Here's some war bonds. And actually, they were talking about how Glasgow, they managed to raise 16 million pounds in like one campaign, one money campaign, just because of how fascinated people were with the tanks. People bought 16 million pounds of war bonds to build more of them. Harry wants to know how many more of the mystery packs. There's still a few left. I'd say it's about halfway done, maybe probably more. I'm a big fan of World War I planes, like an unhealthy level of fan. Yeah, it is really fascinating. Blazer says, TCC, I have a Team Rocket Returns Tyranitar PSA 9 and Dark Slowking PSA 9. Are you interested in buying them before I list them on eBay? Oh, I guess it would depend on the price you're asking, Blazer. I actually have I have both of the Tyranitars. I don't have the Slowking, but he's not my favorite. The Tyranitars definitely are. So I would be interested. You could send me a message on Discord what you're going to list them at and what you'd like for them. Pugacle says, I love the history of, did you say warrior? Of warrior. Some say the pigeons still haven't delivered those messages. That's right. That's crazy, man, having pigeons for moving messages around. It's like straight out of Game of Thrones or something. Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, they touched lightly on the communist revolution in Russia and how actually in the UK they fear that would happen in the UK as well. So one of the things that they did in the UK is they actually took the tanks and they strolled them through town at a time where people were asking for shorter work days and higher pay, they took the tanks and they drove them around and they parked them in the marketplaces. And they did this to intimidate people because they didn't want communism in the UK. They were actually very afraid of communism becoming something that the people believed they should have. And I thought that was so relevant to today because we're still having those conversations. The guys in the trenches ate pigeons for breakfast. Rip! Blazer says, not sure how much they are going for. I was thinking like 80 each, and is the Tyranitar that standing, not roaring? All right, you can send me a message on Discord, and we can definitely talk about price. And they're both PSA 9, so it shouldn't be too complicated to talk about them. Yeah, they're already graded. Dark Tyranitar, Dark Slowking. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely fascinating. I like how we're not talking about Pokemon cards. Well, let's see. What should we do next, guys? We can. I need to make a Discord, says Blazer. Blazer, you're not on Discord? Will you stream Monster Hunter World? I should. Tomorrow's Monday, which is a regular day of the week. So I should be back on Monster Hunter tomorrow around 3 to 5 p.m. Central Time, depending on when I wake up. I'm trying not to stay up so late these days so that I kind of sleep. My schedule matches my wife's schedule a little more. We have like these reversed sleep schedules, so we literally just don't see each other. Because what happens is she finishes work, I begin my work. By the time I'm done, she's in bed. So it's not very good, I guess.
All right, let's open some hidden beats. Yay, war fanatics.
Yay, war fanatics. Here we go, hidden baits. Good luck, Mahasvara. Let's see if Mahasvara can pull the shiny Charizard. That would be pretty fantastic. 1, 2, and 3. What do we got? Oh my god, it's a whiteback. Just kidding. Does your wife like Pokemon or any other type of game? Okay, we've got Inkay here. Yeah, she likes games. I think she would talk every now and then about wanting to make a game. She actually did make a game one time. A real simple computer game. Really, really, really like a beginner's piece of music or something like that. But she just works a lot, to tell you the truth. She likes to go outdoors. That's what she likes to do, which isn't good because I'm not outdoorsy. Hey, look at that. You pull the Inkay and then you pull the Malamar. Not bad. 2 hits in a row. So I would say there's a very low chance that the third pack is also a hit. Should I invest on Japanese Pokemons, especially the vintage ones? That's exactly what I'm doing, RR. I'm buying up lots and lots of the Japanese cards because I anticipate them going up in value. And I think that compared to the English cards, the Japanese cards are largely flying under the radar and people have not picked up on their value quite as much. I think that the nice thing about the Japanese cards is that they'll appeal to an English audience and to a Japanese audience, both. And probably what needed to happen for people to realize this is the English ones needed to reach a certain level of success for people to go, well, what other cards are there to buy? And I think we've probably reached that point, if I had to guess. I don't think they'll stay that low. I think that the Japanese vintage cards will probably double in price pretty soon. I think they'll about double in price. That's my prediction. You guys can see if I'm wrong later, but they might have already done that. Back when I bought my base set Charizard Japanese, he only cost $1,000 back then. I don't know what he goes for now, but I'm going to guess it's not 1,000. Let me look it up, actually. If he's still 1,000, I'll consider picking up another one. I'm curious now. Base set Charizard. Oops. Let's say Charizard Japanese. Yeah, base. Okay, PSA 10. We're going to get it by cheapest price. Give me a moment. And there's a fresh one listed. Look at this. Right here. There's a fresh one listed. This is the cheapest one, okay? And it is more than double in price from when I bought mine. So I bought mine for 1,000, and this one is now 2,600. That's the cheapest one. The next one would be 3,000. So I was correct, actually, on those Japanese cards. I was smart to buy that, because these are listed significantly more expensive. If anything, I should have been buying more of them. More than doubled in price. And honestly, I don't think it's done either. I don't think that is the low price for the Japanese base set Charizard. I think he, along with the Blastoise and the Venusaur, will actually be going for lots of money. Yeah, I know, quotes is so weird. Blazer says, is it free to go on Discord? Yeah, Discord's social media. Look it up, Blazer. It's like one of the most popular social medias right now. It's for gamers. Gamers get on there and they talk to each other for free. You can join servers. You can even start your own server. Mary says, those of us who have been here know what I'm talking about when I say you're all bark, no bite. What? Woof, woof. DL says, I bought my Japanese Dark Charizard at $150 in April, and now it's like $300. That's right. So the Japanese Dark Charizard and the Japanese Blaine's Charizard were also surprisingly low cost. And my wrong opinion back then was that they just weren't that valuable, that nobody wanted them. And that is a very incorrect assessment. It's just that people didn't think about it. People didn't consider buying Japanese for the Pokemon cards, despite the fact that they're even older. So let's see if we can find this. You ready, DL? Here we go. So here it is. This is the cheapest Dark Charizard for sale. It's a PSA 10. This is, again, organized by price to be the cheapest one. The cheapest one is $450. That means that really the price, what is it, multiplied 4 times? So he's 4 times more expensive than he used to be. Let's check the Blaine's Charizard, because he used to go for $100 as well. Did you know that? Blaine's Charizard was just $100 for just not too long ago. Look at this. This is crazy. So the cheapest Blaine's Charizard is $500 now. That's like 5 times the price it used to go for. I actually put one of these in the mystery game. Back then it was called the Lotto, and I put him in there for like $120. See how stupid that was? Now he's $500 after just a little short period later. $500, $600. And there's people watching this. There's 10 people watching, 18 people watching. So whoever won him, I can't remember who it was, they're doing great having obtained that Charizard. Yep. Yeah, Dark Charizard and Blaine's Charizard will probably be $1,000 in no time. How's it going, Cindy? Ninetail says, that's crazy. I know, right? Yeah, so Japanese cards have been overlooked, and that's great, actually. It's great that they're overlooked, because it means that there was an opportunity to move in and start buying them. But they're already starting to shift, as you can see. Look at this card. Chief Buffalo pulled this, and this card will probably go up in value quite a lot. Ninetail says, I've been sleeping on the Japanese cards. I know, right? Think about it. They're older than the English ones. They're actually the original version of those sets, if you think about it. Right? So the English sets are made later, after the Japanese ones are already printed. So people, they care a lot about first edition this, first edition that, right? Well, the Japanese cards technically are more first edition than the English cards. They're the original set. Like the English version, for whatever reason, they dropped the Mew out of the English version and they turned it into a promo card. Sadly, they shouldn't have done that. Should have been Fossil.
5. Hidden Fates.
Hidden Face. Let's see who that's for. That's for Jaquez. How's it going, Jaquez? Let's get you some Hidden Face. All right, here we go. 3, 4, 5. Move that off to the side. I would have loved to have pulled that Fossil Mew. I know. I would have liked that too. Exactly, DL. If the Mew was in that set would immediately be more valuable. But they made it a promo card like a bunch of dingbats. I don't know whose decision that was, but they should be stringing them up. String them up. You know what I mean? Because actually the English base set and the English or Japanese base set, they have Mewtwo already. And so Mew should have definitely been in Fossil, but they removed him. Whose idea was that? All right, here we go. What do we got? Good luck, Jaquez. Pack number 1 is going to be Magikarp. Pack number 2, we're always looking for the full art shinies. What can we pull today? That's something. That's going to be Froakie. So you pull in the Froakie. He's an off-center Froakie. I noticed some of the holos are off-center to the left. Not the Malamar and the Inkay back there, so it's weird. It's not all of them, just some of them. What do we got here? Ooh, it's Golisopod. God damn, dude. God, I hate this guy. He's so annoying. He shows up so often, doesn't he? We're like sloths, always behind them. Mosvar says, I'll just sit here and snicker because I already pulled the Mew. Tracy says, hi, 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 hi. We got Metapod. Subby says, I love Golisopod. I'm glad somebody likes Golisopod. I am not sure I'm as much of a fan. And Zapdos. So not bad. You got 5 packs and you got exactly 1 holo and 1 full art. I would call that slightly above average pulls. So I would say you did not do too bad there. How's this guy looking? Is he looking well centered? The good news is your Golisopod looks gradable. All right, so let's send this off to Jaquez. Jaquez, do you need a new bag? I think Jaquez needs a new bag. The worst full art shiny you can pull based on raw price is Bonnet. Really? The Bonnet? He looks so good, though. I like the way Bonnet looks. The Bonnet. I would not have expected that. I actually would have expected something like Zygarde. And we'll move this over here. Okay. Sweet. Personally, I love Bonnet, but he's got the lowest price last time I checked. Zygarde is thumbs down. Andres Matt says, I would have thought it would have been one of the Ultra Beasts. Grev says, I pulled a Drampa and that thing was trash for price, $6.90. Drampa? Well, and remember guys, those are the raw card prices. And the problem with going off of raw card prices is really people don't pay a premium for the card until after it's been graded. If the card happens to grade a 10, then it's worth a lot more than if it was like, let's say, a 9 or an 8. So raw card prices are deceptive because they don't really reflect the true value of the card, because you might be holding on to a PSA 10 version of your card and you don't know that yet. You might be holding on to a PSA 8 version of the card, and $6.90 might actually be the correct price for it in that case. Can I send you more DMs of cards? Yeah, send me as many as you want. I'll look over them briefly. I probably won't send you a long message, but I'll probably respond. Grev says, some of these tins have tilted backs. Drampa would have been lucky to be a 9. Ooh, that sucks, man. Tilted backs, what does that mean? Grandpa. Grandpa. Put this over here. Good old Pokemon. Oh man, we gotta do our live stream at a normal time, 7 o'clock. We shouldn't be doing it this late. Mary says, I just want to buy Evolutions. That's understandable, Mary. I got some Evolutions out to grade. Mary says, get more Evolutions. Royamo says, speaking of Evolutions, Mary, I got first edition Dark Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon yesterday, PSA 10. They're really nice looking, aren't they? They're one of the things that you kind of forget that they're in the, you forget that they're in the Team Rocket packs, you know what I mean? Actually, do I have some? I wonder if I have some. Gosh, I wouldn't mind opening up some Team Rocket packs right now. I actually have that second box. I should just go open it. Second box of Team Rocket. Japanese. I'm referring to the Team Rocket Japanese card packs. Oops. I'm going to knock my cards over. Oh. What do we have here? These are Neo Destiny. So these are all Neo. Is anyone excited for the Sword and Shield DLC? Hey, you know, you guys should keep me in the loop. Make sure I know the exact day that it's coming out. Send me a reminder so I can get it all booted up and we can play some Sword and Shield DLC together. I'll actually play that. Is this it? Is this where I have it? That looks like some Neo Destiny. Here's a rocket. Oh, it's just an empty pack, though. Whoops. Lots of discovery. Oh, wow. Ooh, look at these. Oh, those are just some first edition packs. Do I have more of those? Oh, snap. It's like finding treasure, guys. Oops. What else we got? All right, so this last box. There, we got some dark Pokemon in there. There's some dark Pokemon in here. Pikachu. Cleffa. Yeah, okay. Mary says, people still care about Sword and Shield game? Well, I mean, a DLC is a DLC, Mary. You know how it is. Gotta go try that. Gotta throw my money at Nintendo. Mary says, seems outdated. That's right. Actually, during quarantine, I think it's a huge missed opportunity that more game companies didn't have, like, games getting pumped out, you know what I mean? Now would be the best time to release a game. Everyone's at home. There's an Eevee. Oh man, I bet I stupidly sold off like my dark whatever. Oh, maybe I sent him off to grade already, actually. I didn't think about that. You know what? I'm not going to grade this guy yet. We'll grade the rest of the dark set another day. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I work on putting a complete dark set together right now? I mean, it's not a terrible idea. I don't think I have enough. We'll save these for later. Sylveon, I still need to get one. Probably I should have sleeved those up, though. Probably what I should have done. Place these to the side. Now, these are the ones I'm really curious about. These appear to be packed fresh. White dot on the corner up there. That's a 9. Centering's not terrible. I want to say it's thicker on the top, though. This also has a dot on the corners. That's also a 9. Dark Rapidash. Damn, that's a cool looking card, man. On the back. The edges look terrible, actually. That's definitely also a 9. Dark Dragonair. Okay. Check the back of the card. Man, it's the same deal. It has the same edge problem. Must be so hard to get perfect cards, you know? Dark Raticate. It's not super valuable. You'll need him to finish the collection. And of course, this mofo actually looks like he could probably pull a 10. Unbelievable. This one might pull a 10. Of course. The Dark Raticate, of course. Here we go. We've got Mankey. Oh, that's pretty good too, actually. I think the Mankey has a shot at a 10. He's more of a 9.5. He's more of a 9.5, but they could pass him as a 10. Voltorb. I was so surprised to learn that Voltorb actually is a Pokeball come to life. Yep, that looks like he has a shot at a 10. You're under arrest. What? Okay, there's Voltorb and Machop, huh? What do we got? Well-centered. I mean, they're all well-centered. I think he has a shot at a 10. Wow, the good ones all had 9s for sure. They were definite 9s. And then the ones that are not quite as popular, they're all possible 10s. That's tough. But that's okay. In order to get a complete common uncommon set, you will need the Machop. Here's the Slowpoke. Alright, next pack. TCC is US bound. That's right, I'm in the US. Alright, and this one has no shot. It has a line in the middle. Put this into the for sale box. Alright, so that... But we got this empty pack. Would somebody be interested in buying an empty pack? Or is it too annoying that the top is missing its foil? Alright, next pack. Let's see what we got. Ooh, the dark Wartortle on top, huh? And unfortunately, he has that strange line in him. Maybe he would be a 9. See, check the front. How about the back? He's got a white dot there. That's probably a 9. How's it going, True-Sighted? Am I having fun? I am having fun. For reals, though, Ryoma, you better lock your doors because I'm coming for those evolutions. We got Imposter Oaks Revenge. That's a trainer card. It's got a coughing on it. A menacing-looking coughing. And it's got this up-to-no-good Gengar. It's pretty cute. It's got a clear white dot right there, so that's going to be a 9. Magnemite, one of my favorite Pokemon. Pretty cool, right? Cool. Alright, so that one actually might get a 10. Not the most popular Pokemon, though, is he? Slowpoke's pretty popular. Slowpoke 10 might actually be worth like 40 bucks. It's funny, when we were opening these booster packs, I kept telling people, save your cards, save your cards. Grade your commons and your uncommons. I bet you most of these common uncommons go for no less than $40 as a 10. And you can see me pulling 10s right out of the box, you know? That international shipping is no joke. Wait, Dude, this looks really clean. I'd be surprised if this one's not a 10. Move this over here. I try not to buy international. That's racist. I don't know. I'm just saying things. Oh, man. It's got a dot on the corner. I think that's more of a 9. I mean, it could possibly get a 10, but I think it'll be a 9. Here's Drowsy. I'm a big fan of Drowsy Hypno. I'm surprised to learn that not a lot of people were. You know, again, I think it just comes down to the fact that I always liked the bad guys. I think he has a shot at a 10. Sure. I bought a Shining Tyranitar. It took 2 months. Really? Of saving? Yeah, those guys are expensive. How much is a Japanese PSA 10 Dark Dragonite worth? Probably pretty good. I would bet that if he's graded a 10, probably about $200. If he's not 200, then probably at least 100. But honestly, over time, I'd expect him to go up, 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 up. So I wouldn't sell. I'd be holding. Stiglet. And this is going to be Snorlax. He appears to have the crease in the middle. How about this Voltorb then? And the Voltorb clearly has the crease in the middle. So there's no chance for this guy to pull a 9 even, I would bet. If the line's very vague, it might still get a 9, but... Alright, so that's another empty pack. What do we got here? How you guys liking this, by the way? It's kind of a slow night, so I figured we'd fill it in with doing something else. Here's an Eevee. Check it out, Mary. Rocket Eevee. This is a real vintage card right here. I'm sending it off. It might get a 9, but that's okay. If it gets a 9, I think it will still sell because Eevee is so popular. Let me get these down here. Make this a little easier on myself. So the Eevee might have a shot at a 10. It's good to see that the cards we opened weren't terribly off-center. Here's the Grimer. You know, I was surprised to learn that people make fun of Grimer and Muck as poor design. I don't think they're poorly designed at all. He looks exactly what he's meant to be. Sort of this gross sludge sort of monster, right? I thought he always was one of the cooler monsters. Where do you buy your card savers from? Just online? There's no particular website. Just go shopping on places like Amazon and eBay, just like everyone else. I know a guy. He's behind a market. He's down a dark alleyway. He gives me the card savers for $2 and a loose handy. Rattata. Seems like one of the least consequential Pokemon to get graded ever. But, you know, they're going to need that Rattata. They will. They're going to need the Rattata for a complete collection. So off he goes. See you, Rattata. Ponyta. Again, this would be the second one. Yeah, I can get you that card saver. It's going to cost you. I don't know. I feel like that's going to be will that be a 10 or will it be a 9? Hard to say. I'm going to say this will probably be a 9. Let's check the Squirrel now. Squirrel is important because he's part of Squirrel, Dark Wartortle, Dark Blastoise. What can we get on Squirtle? He's definitely a 9 because of this white dot here. So that's a 9. Oops. Darn. Voltorb. Conclusion. I know a lot of guys. What? It's got a dot up here. If it's got a dot, it's not a 10. That's what I learned from the last PSA return, guys. It's got one dot on it, not a 10. So you check for dots. The dots tell you what you're going to get on it. Like, that's a very small dot, but that's a clear dot. So that's a 9. And who knows, maybe I'll grade for 9 one day. I'll sell you card savers, 1K, mister. All right, let's see what we got here. I mean, a little bit of whiting on this edge. What is this, the Porygon? I mean, that looks like a 9. Keep a high standard there. Dark Electrode. You know, I should have offered people trades for these cards. When we were opening up the Team Rocket cards, not everyone wants to grade their common and commons. That's definitely 9. But I'll take the time to do it, and I could have offered them decent trades for it. That's definitely more like an 8. That's a big chip missing from the edge of the card. All right. I got one more pack. All right, we're starting out with another Voltorb. And by the way, guys, feel free to interrupt me if there's some cards you want to open. It's not a problem. I'll take a little break from this, and I'll get you cards for you. I feel like that little whiting on the edge on the top will probably make it, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe they would still take it as a 10. It's well-centered anyways. I can't decide. I'll set it to the side for now. Slowpoke. Oh, man, I didn't like the way that caught the edge. But it never does any problems to it. I think this Slowpoke has a bit of a shot. I don't know, though. There's a bit of white showing on this side. Let's grab this. Psyduck. Yeah, he's got a little bit of whiting on this edge. I don't know. I wonder if they'll count it. Going to need more than one lock, I see. What? I think you should get into competitive Pokemon. It'll probably boost your fan base on TGE, and some may transfer to TCE. It's a pretty popular game, and it's pretty fun for the most part. New DLC out on the 17th. For sure, man. I should play some Pokemon over there. The problem I have is I don't really know what I'm meant to do in that game. Play competitively online. All right, we got Oddish. I think Oddish might be a 10. Look at that Oddish. Look at that artwork. Such terrific artwork. Sadly, I find that the Pokemon Sword and Shield game was not that enjoyable. I think I've had more fun playing Pokemon Blue. Oh, and my wife is signing over there. So let's see what we got over here. Basic Pokemon Meowth. People will watch you stream the new campaign, and then you can play competitive too. Here's coughing. Get my booty smashed in competitive. See, I know when it comes to gaming, you need to play a game like 8 hours a day every day to keep up. That's a pretty clear white dot right there. What do we have? White dot here. And looks like multiple white dots there. Okay, the next card, Nightly Garbage Run. Oops. Nightly Garbage Run is when you go to the store for like a donut at 12 a.m. in the night. That one's definitely more of an 8. That one will probably never be graded. Dark Persian. Look how weird that drawing is. Who drew that one? Shinichi Yoshida. Weird. I would say this is closer to a 9 than a 10. And Dark Golduck. No chance. Look at that corner. Really torn up. All right. Well, that was all 4 of those. Now I got these 4 empty boosters. They're all Gyarados too, huh? So I got 4 Gyarados artworks. Set them over here. And then we've got all of these. Very cool. So those are most likely, these are 9s. And then I have this bag right here. Let's go through this bag. Should have done this a while ago. Awesome thing about competitive Pokemon is the variety. The variety, is there really that much variety? Or do people figure out a meta and then you have to kind of work within the constraints of that meta? He's off center with a big white chip on the side. I'm going to mark that for an 8. I might hold them. Well, I'm not going to mark them. That's definitely an 8. Wait, is it? No, this one might be more of a 9. Dratini. Off center. Terribly off center. I think this one's more of an 8. I bought a Japanese 10 Dark Dragonite for 120. Hopefully it was a good purchase. Yeah, for sure, man. Diglett. Wow, this Diglett looks pretty good. The bottom, no, he's off center, so he's more of a 9. Do I have a Scyther? I do have Scythers, probably. Depends on what Scyther you want. Dark Eradicate. That's got a white edge. Charmander. Ooh, that's a well-centered Charmander. I think I'm addicted to your streams. Thanks, man. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, man, this might come out a 10. I think it's a long shot if it did, though. The dots on the back of the card are very small, but this one right here would probably kill it, right? Man, I really do want to... I'm going to try for it. You know why? Because if it's a 10, it's going to be worth like 50 bucks. I'm going to just try for it. I think it's more of a 9.5, if anything. God, I hate half grades. Here's Abra. Kind of a similar situation. It's just got a little bit right there. I think I'm going to try for the Abra. Only Jungle Japanese for sale right now, Geo, I think. Hey, mister, I have a blue Sharpie you can borrow to fix those dots. Oh my god. Do you think really people actually touch up the cards with blue Sharpie? What if they recognize that it's been touched up? You know what I mean? Like, what if they're that good? What if they use like a microscope? That's got a very light dot on the edge there. I think this one has a shot. I think I would describe it once again as more of a 9.5. How's it going, Geo? Is Geo asking about picking up some cards? They'll give it a 10 for effort. They'll disqualify it. Call it a written on card. Ooh, it's a Dark Wartortle, guys. So this card might be worth closer to $60 right now. If he's a 10. And he looks like more of a 9. All right, place him there. They do, it's called recolored. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't mess with anything like that. I don't want to get in trouble. He's definitely thicker on the top. I think he's more of a 9. Dark Rapidash. Once again, we didn't have a good Dark Rapidash earlier. That one's got 2 dots on it. That one's a definite 9. Or 8. Dark Primeape. You know, you don't really think much about Dark Primeape. I don't think he's that popular. You know what I mean? Does anyone get hyped for Dark Primeape? He's like a forgotten Pokemon. Is it just me, or do people just not like the monkey Pokemons that much? Can't decide. I bought a card from eBay before, and I sent it in, and they sent it back saying it was recolored. So be careful on buying eBay cards. Oh, man, that's sad. That's sad, man. That sucks. You'd have to be good enough to know that it was recolored. That's an off-centered Dark Persian. Here's a dark Muck. He looks kind of thick on the top too. How does he look on the back? They've all got slightly wrong edges. I'd say it's more of a 9. Maybe I'm too picky. I don't really know how picky they're going to be, but it seems like they're pretty picky. A lot of scammers on eBay. Dude, they suck, man. They just suck. There's so many shit people on eBay selling their cards for way too much. Just greedy people. At least be honest about what you have. You know, you got to be honest with the card. That's why I'd rather pay a few dollars from somebody who I know I can trust. And when you got to buy from somebody with the 0 feedback, you're taking a huge risk, you know? I'd love to send this one in, but that edge, look at that edge. All whited up. Probably a 9. Dark Jolteon. Off center. I'm still 0 feedback on eBay. I do not have a jungle scyther for sale right now. I apologize. Not that I have anything to apologize for. I bet this would be a very close 10 if it's a 10. Yeah, exactly, Mahasvar. If nobody, well, that's not 100% true, Mahasvar. You can build up eBay reputation by buying things too, I believe. Wait, this isn't bent here. No, okay. Do they grade custom cards? I'm fairly sure they do not. I'm fairly sure that they have to be able to put whatever it is you're grading into a database. And so if they're not going to build a database for a custom card. This is a cool looking card right here. Oh, it's got one little speck. Let's send it in though. Mossfire says buyer and seller rep is separated. Oh, is it? Maybe I'm wrong about it then. Maybe that's how it used to work a long time ago. And I have forgotten. I don't know. Might want to double check. I thought it used to be you could just buy stuff. Would be cool to have a custom card graded. There's some cool looking ones out there. I know. Actually, you know, one time I was scrolling through eBay for Pokemon cards, and I found a guy who made like custom like girl cards basically for Pokemon. And I thought, oh man, these would be perfect for cheese. Thought it was really funny. I thought it was like a clever way to make money if you're an artist. He was charging a lot for them too. He was charging like 20 bucks. You know, and they were just kind of like lewdish or something like that. They weren't, obviously they weren't nude. You can't sell nudie stuff on eBay, I don't think. Well, you probably can actually. There's Grimer. That's more of an 8. Been looking for a Scyther to buy. That's a 9. Machop. So it looks like we moved through the uncommons, and now we're moving through the commons. Well, Machop might have a shot. Now, that's not the lewd Grimer, that's the revised Grimer. This Grimer looks toward the camera. See, the Japanese ones, he looked up. The English ones, he looks forward. That's definitely a 9. Mankey. Come on, Mankey. I feel like I'm going to play Monster Hunter World after I'm done with DSR. Oh, cool. Meowth. Oops. We have Oddish. We're going through all the same commons now. Oh, wow. Oddish looks like he has a shot. I'll be sending in 2 Oddishes and 2 Machops. Good old Oddish. Wish I was sending in a Dark Gloom. Here's Ponyta. Go a little faster on these common cards. Oh, actually, the Ponyta also looks like it's got a shot. I bought this a long time ago, guys. I think I got it for 30 bucks. First edition Team Rocket. It was described as a Rocket Mint Common Uncommon set. And I was like, I'd like to have that. And look at me now. Sending them all off to grade. Paid 30 bucks for them. It's unbelievable. But that was almost a full year ago before the price of all the cards doubled and then doubled again. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. I haven't played Monster Hunter in a while. I did everything. Just need some decorations. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem for veteran players. They've done everything and more. The only thing you can really do in Monster Hunter right now is really just speedrun. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of speedrunning. I don't think that the game is really designed for speedrunning too much. They make it so hard to get the exact conditions that you want with your spawn placement, with the feline meals, and just so many other RNG factors in the game, like how the monster spawns. As I've thought about it. I have actually thought about it quite a lot. I think that if I did put out some, speedruns that I worked really hard on, it would definitely give me more credit as a more serious player. But I could do that, or I could open up Pokemon cards. So I have to make a decision, and I went with Pokemon cards. I don't know. This looks close. In other words, in terms of an investment of your time, the sad thing is I realized at one point that investing all your time in speedrunning is not a good investment. Here's challenge. Nope. Farm for more Pokemon cards. We got Digger. I've been playing Pokemon in the meantime, getting a little addicting. Speaking of speedrunning, have you speedrun Dark Souls 3? Nope, I've never speedrun Dark Souls 3, but I know that I've played through it as fast as possible in order to gather certain unique items and unique weapons a second time. And many of my accounts were like New Game Plus, 5, New Game Plus 6. So I had like 4 accounts, I think, or 3. And you needed to have those in order to have multiple characters that were ready for PvP. So I worked real hard on my Dark Souls account because I did it back then. I did it on the Xbox rather than on the PC. And I'm sure if I'd done it on the PC, I could have just used mods and done it the easy way. Here's Goop Gas Attack. Speedrunning Monster Hunter World Iceborne is trash, especially because you have to tenderize to get the most DPS. Yeah, I mean, I've watched speedruns. They're pretty good at it. They understand the timing of the, I'm sure they use timers or something, or they just memorize the fight really well. And they retenderize at the right times. That's just part of the speedrun now. They're pretty good at it, but it is annoying though, isn't it? Because I feel like it's just a little too much RNG for certain fights, not for all fights. Probably what speedrunners do is they select, a certain drooling point or knockdown point to get the retenderize. So it adds a little more complexity to the speedrun than there was before, but it is annoying though, isn't it? Especially if it goes wrong for some reason. Like, let's say you don't get the flinch at the right time, well, you're not going to get the retenderize, and then the speedrun is over, because you're not going to beat your old time and get the world record. Only game I've gone past New Game Plus is Bloodborne, and I got to like New Game Plus 7. Nice, man. Didn't you get hate on your last video? Oh, yeah. People were so mad at the last video. Apparently, it was very poorly edited. I didn't edit that one. You're not even good at Lance. Well, I don't have any speedruns with it, that's for sure. That must mean all of my points are negated. Why? That's a great question, Pugacole. That is a question I actually ask myself as well, because I don't think anything I said was terribly unreasonable. I think that probably you had some people who kind of like identify with the Lance, and they don't like to hear somebody talk trash their favorite weapon. And I wasn't really talk trashing either. What I was pointing out was the design of the Lance is feeling underwhelming in Iceborne, to put it in a very short way. But I sort of elaborated on that over a course of 20 minutes, and then the editor just slapped on some very unedited background gameplay, and and it did not go over well. People were real mad about it. They're real mad that I said something. That guy I messaged you about was salty in this video talking about you. The comment section was cancer. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I think it's pretty normal in video games to get people like that, to get groups like that. I think the funny thing is, after all of the stuff we did, after all the talking, I felt like my points were still valid and that I had not heard any convincing counter arguments. That's the most important part to me. So by the time all the, the trash talking and the smearing and all the other stuff was over, I was like, you guys haven't convinced me otherwise about the Lance. That's to me, that's the biggest issue. Lance Colt after TGC, come get it, boys. These guys don't know. I grew up in a family of 11 kids. I know a thing or two about thick skin. They don't know how crazy I am underneath it all. So let's see. We're going to say PSA 9 on the front. Some kid said you only play Monster Hunter World for the money. That's right, guys. I only play games for money. I totally only play video games for money, not for fun. Obviously, all the work I put into all the videos I made was a calculated cash grab, strictly. Crazy talk, man. Imagine playing any video game for 4,000 hours, a game you don't like. Imagine playing that for 4,000 hours for a cash grab. It's just silly. It's a silly argument. All right, here we are. Who plays games for fun? I know, right? Look at this. Man, so these might be 10s here. Look how much money we're sitting on, because these might be, if they're 10s, they probably will fluctuate between $30 and $50 in value, I would say. Some of the uncommons might be 50, 60, but I don't think we got a lot of uncommons. The Dark Raticate won't be popular. He'll be like 20 to 30. And I don't know about these trainers. People are mad because I choose to play. Imagine getting toxic at somebody for building Divine Blessing 5 rather than Master's Touch. And the reason I have this setup is because we're expecting a Lake Treon to be the next end game. They're just so unreasonable. Crazy people, man. Crazy, crazy. They can get as mad as they want. It's not going to like change the way I enjoy my video games. They got to do something better with their time. They got to go out there and accomplish something with their time. Sit around on the internet and argue. I was thinking about that the other day. I stopped on Facebook and I watched all my friends arguing about the Black Lives Matters protest. Everyone has an opinion. They're all going blah, 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 blah. They all have an opinion. And everyone should have an opinion. But I just thought about it. I was like, just a few years ago, that would have been me sitting around on social media talking about Black Lives Matter or something like that, rather than out there working and earning money. You guys on Facebook, you have your conversation. I'm going to be working, making money, and moving to beautiful places to live. And Ryan says that was hilarious. Honestly, good one. Water their plants. Do you do trades? They'll be carting while you get new gear. I would hold on to a card if it's only $20 to $30 now. Yeah, so, I don't have time for... I think one of the most annoying things I actually heard, somebody said that I don't take constructive criticism, which is crazy because it's the other way around. It's more like I listen to criticisms very carefully in order to assess, all ideas, concepts in communication, concepts in brand association, and just everything. And so I'm thinking about it constantly. It's almost like your job as somebody who's managing social media to be doing that actually very carefully. And they confused the idea that I don't agree with them with not being able to listen to constructive criticism. So I listen. I just don't always agree. I've had those fights in the past, actually. That's the other thing. They think that this is the first time that my channel has ever had people angry at me. It's like, no, I've had people angry at me plenty of times. All right. Wow. Now we got a nice thick submission there. Yeah, that's another thing. That's the funny thing is they could take a little constructive criticism. The Lance could take a little constructive criticism, if you ask me. The Lance could take a little bit of constructive criticism right now. All right, look. That's starting to look thick now, isn't it? The Lance could take a little bit of constructive criticism, like, you don't do any damage. Or, why should I have to build guard up and guard just to do something that I'm forced to do because of the slow walking speed that other weapons don't have? Other weapons have a fast walking speed. Just a thought or two. Let's see. Can we pull Shining Charizard here? Probably Shining Charizard right here if I had to guess. Probably guaranteed Shining Charizard in these 2 packs. Giovanni says, did you see my question? If you do trades, can I offer one for that Dark Golduck? What, the one I just, oh, you're talking about like the PSA 9 Dark Golduck? Most of my cards, what I'm going to be doing with them is I'm going to be sending them off to trade. I'm sorry, off to grade. It sounds similar to trade, doesn't it? Oh my god, Metapod. So what you will want to do is ask me what PSA cards I have, especially when it comes to vintage stuff. Well, just in general, all my cards. I think my channel is going to be focused primarily on graded cards. So graded cards are the game. All right, what do we get here? We got a Psychic Energy, and we got Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno. There we go. Place that over there. Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno. Place that in there. Yeah, that looks actually pretty clean. Mr. Mime, that's right. So let's see, I had other cards, didn't I? So these are Japanese versions of the same card. And I think I already took the hot ones out, didn't I? There's a Slowpoke, he's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Eevee's pretty cool. I don't see that PSA 9, but I would like to offer a trade if you would be interested in hearing it. Go ahead and make me an offer. So where can you buy cards? Any website? No, you can only strictly buy them from TheCardconomist.com. Strictly. Anywhere else and you get beheaded. Off with this head. That's a weird thing, isn't it? Humans throughout history have been all about beheading each other. The guillotine and the French Revolution, right? Why is that? Why do we think that that's the way? Maybe it's just easier, you know? You think it's just a big hammer to the head, and then you're done. They'll just hit them real hard on the head with the hammer. Knock them out, right? They're like, no, we got to cut their heads off. I bet you still have boxes sitting just waiting to be opened. You think so? Boxes like this? What? That's Rebel Clash. Put it on a steak. I know, right? Let's see. How's it going, Bana? He says, how is it going late to the stream? No problem. People are headhunters. So what do we got over here? So here's some jungle packs. You know, I bet Jungle Pikachu would be nice. Look at that Eevee. Jungle Eevee. But you know, I think I'll hold off on those for now for a little while. I got a first edition Neo Genesis. I'm gonna be sending a few Jungle Cubone off. Love the art on it. Yeah, Cubone's cool, man. Look at this. We got this little pack. I bought this a while ago too. Probably real cheap. This also is a complete Neo set, just like we had a complete Jungle set. So this is going to be a 9. Go a little faster here. This Magby, looking good on the front. He could be a 10. We just got one back and it was a 9. Oh man, it would be annoying to get a second 9, wouldn't it? think it's more of a 9. A-Palm. A-Palm. How about B-Palm? That might be a 9. Ariados, he looks pretty cool. That's a 9, maybe an 8. How long till you decide to tally the votes, mister? Or until there's enough interest? I don't think there's actually been too much interest. I think the problem is, it's hard for people. Really what we need to know is how much money people have and how much they're willing to put towards something. And then it's actually a much more complicated process of actually going out and finding something to buy, which is a form of shopping. It's work, actually, to find something to buy. So it's a difficult thing. I actually wonder if it would be smarter for me to make a simple bank loan, like a personal loan from the bank, buy something with the bank loan, and then to sell the packs afterwards and pay off the bank loan afterwards, because it's so hard to organize people into wanting to fund something. What made you want to buy Evolutions? XY Evolutions? Is that what you're talking about? Somebody asked me to, and I said, all right. And that was it. That's the whole story. Somebody said, will you get XY Evolutions? And I said, sure, why not? Now this one might be a 10. Hey, mister, buy me a case of Ultra Prism. The Lilypad Mew in Evolutions is awesome. Yeah, it is an awesome card. You know, they ought to go backwards and look at some vintage Japanese sets that were never made in English, and they ought to release them in English now. That's what they ought to do. That would be a smart move, because they could make money on that, and it'd be an easy set for them to make, wouldn't it? Like the Versus set, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. The Versus set could be remade right now in English. Good night, Harry. Have I heard of Elden Ring? Yeah, of course I heard of Elden Ring. I'm very excited for it. Pugacole, you know, if you like Dark Souls and you found me on my Dark Souls stuff, you stick around, man, because I'll be playing the shit out of Elden Ring. There is a very good chance I will stop playing Monster Hunter World and start playing Elden Ring every day. Very good chance. If it's a good game, but I assume it will be. The way I play games, and probably the reason why my YouTube channel's been successful, is because I play games a certain way. I play them as like a lifestyle. So I get on and I play games for like 8 hours a day. And that is how I've always been. And this works very well for doing stuff like making guides, because when you play for a long time and you read all the news, you get all the information, you get the footage you need. And this is, again, just very conducive for making a YouTube channel. Well, the thing is, the way I work is I usually pick one game and just play that. And then I play that for like 8 hours a day. And right now, that game is Monster Hunter. That's the game I play. And one day, I'll jump ship to another game. And that game will be based on how much it's like Monster Hunter. Because I like those style of games. Games where you can play them as a lifestyle. And a lot of games are not like that. A lot of games are not like that. We got Sunflora. Remember Sunflora, guys? Just another forgettable Pokemon. That's probably a 9. Xatu, I would actually like this to be a 10. Let's see what this is. It's so close to being a 10, but it's got these 2 little white dots. I think it's a 9. Here's Chikorita. Yeah, it's a 9. When is Elden Ring coming out? I believe it's been delayed. I think it was supposed to come out in like June or July, but I have not heard news about it. If it still comes out when it was scheduled, we will probably jump ship to that game. And we will be going full steam into that game and making guides and everything. Somebody just asked, when will I play Emerald? Maybe very soon, Subby. Probably not tonight, though. Ooh, I love this Cyndaquil art. Please let this Cyndaquil be looking good on the back. Oh my god, this guy like 1 dot right here. Oh, I'm going to try it anyways. I would really like this Cyndaquil to be a 10. It's a game from FromSoft. Not just from FromSoft, but they have the writer for Game of Thrones actually working on it. George R.R. Martin is doing the story for From Software's next game, and I think that was such a good, smart move from them. Girafarig, you forget Girafarig exists. That's a 9. Getting to the AM hours here, I'm going to turn in. Good night, True-Sighted. I'm hoping it's like Dark Souls, but it's open world. And it, most importantly, it has to feature, it absolutely has to feature invasions. The invasion system has to come back. And, you know, they created the arena at the end of Dark Souls 3, so that should come back too, in my opinion, and hopefully they design it a little bit better. Dude, I don't even want to grade Mantine. It's just Mantine. Does anyone care about Mantine? Here's Mareep. Now, this is a good one. That's a 9. Here's Meryl. It comes out June 30th. It says that it comes out June 30th, but there's been absolutely no new details on it, which is usually a sign that it's about to be delayed. But if it still comes out June 30th, I mean, I'm all in. I will be very interested. What'll probably happen is I'll probably live stream the gameplay, and then based on the replayability of the game, I will make a decision whether to stay in the Monster Hunter community or whether to move on to Elden Ring. That is most likely what'll happen. And if it's highly replayable and it's similar to Dark Souls, I may be swapping right over to Elden Ring and staying there until the next Monster Hunter game comes out. I mean, I might come back to Monster Hunter if they release something really cool, you know, but other than that, it's going to be Elden Ring. Subby says, you broke Monster Hunter World's heart. Well, I still like Monster Hunter World, but let's be honest, it's an old game. It is officially an old game. It's several years old. It's time for Monster Hunter World 2 to come out. It's time for Monster Hunter World Universe to come out. So, it's, you know, Monster Hunter World is kind of at the end of its life cycle. It's had its expansion. They've already said they're not doing another expansion. And then I think that viewers on Twitch are surprisingly low now. You can see that people aren't watching the content anymore because they're also tired of it. It's just, if Elden Ring does come out June 30th, I will probably be over there playing Elden Ring. And I'll probably say, sayonara, if I said that, sayonara. I'll probably say goodbye to Monster Hunter except for special events, which I'll come back and play with you all. Because, you know, I'm so familiar with the game. But it already happened once before. A long time ago, I used to make Dark Souls content every day. And then I swapped over to Monster Hunter because Monster Hunter came out and Dark Souls was kind of, you know, Dark Souls was kind of done. Sayonara. Oops. Yeah, for those of you who didn't know, I was a huge fan of Dark Souls. And it was one of the reasons why I ended up liking Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter is similar to Dark Souls. It's just like Dark Souls, but it is. It's, you know, it's third-person perspective. It's supposedly difficult. Actually, it turns out that Monster Hunter Iceborne is very easy. It's not really that difficult at all, is it? Monster Hunter feels like it's on its last leg. Well, the content came way too slow. They probably have like a team of 4 people working on it. How could it be so slow, man? If you look at a timetable of when Behemoth came out, he came out in August when the game launched pretty much at the beginning of February. So he came out like August 1st, and the game launched January 26th. So you did not wait very long at all for Behemoth. But look at Elytrion. We have arguably less to do in Iceborne, and Elytrion doesn't come out for a long time. Months and months and months later. Oh, here's a Sudowoodo. He's a cool Pokemon. Oh, he has a slim chance for a 10. think they waited way too long. There might be a chance for a 10 on this, but I'm going to put it in the 9 pile. It's Sunkern. Sunkern is one of those Pokemon that I don't think anyone really cares about. This guy might have a chance at a 10 as well. You know what? I'll actually just go ahead and sleeve these up because I have a chance. Yep, that's right. So when Monster Hunter World 2 comes out, I will very clearly I'll return. Be a fun time. Be awesome. And but Monster Hunter World Iceborne, we're all waiting for Elytron, and they'll probably have something after Elytron, so I'll play that too. But if Elden Ring comes out June 30th, unless that game is not what I was hoping it would be, if it's more of a, you know, single player experience, if it's more of a you play it once and you're done kind of game, right? If it's kind of like that, I'll play it. You know, I'll take a little break from Monster Hunter, I'll play it, and then I'll get back to Monster Hunter. But if that's a full-fledged multiplayer replayable game, ooh baby, we'll be doing Elden Ring all the way. We'll start getting guides out, strategy guides, and probably be real crowded over there. We'll have to see. Should probably make a video on Elden Ring soon. Oh, sweet. This Totodile looks like a complete 10. I'm going to send this one into BGS for the black label. I'm just kidding. This one looks like an easy 10. And it's Totodile, so that's a good thing because he's the starter. Here's Wooper. Whoop, whoop. I think that's more of a 9. I literally started over like 10 times just to replay base game because there's nothing to do. Are you talking about Monster Hunter? Oh, that's a pain, dude. You know, they have a huge design flaw where they decide to force you to watch the cutscenes. That's one of the main reasons I don't do that. So if you didn't have to watch cutscenes, I'd consider replaying the main game. I'd consider starting a new character and playing through the campaign. But because you have to watch the cutscenes, I don't. Simple. And that's their fault. That's not my fault. Forcing me to watch something I don't want to watch. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Totodile, Sunkern, Swinub, Sudowoodo, Spinarak, Snubble, Slowpoke, Oddish, Natu, Meryl, Cyndaquil. Oh, man. If this Cyndaquil and the Totodiles can get a 10, that would be perfect. Swinub, Sudowoodo, Spinarak, Slowpoke. The Natu's kind of nice as well. Meryl's kind of nice. Scramble and Fluffy's real nice. Oops, wrong box. Okay. What do you mean you don't want to watch this cutscene we worked hard on? Well, I appreciate that they worked hard on it. And you know, the first time you play through, you probably will watch it. But it's like every time? That's too much. Should be optional. They should put it into a little theater mode where you can rewatch it at will. Problem solved. Too bad that Shuckle isn't a 10. I'd grade the Shuckle in a heartbeat. Look at message. Wait, is Monster Hunter World huge in gameplay for a new player? Oh yeah, there's a ton of content for a new player. You've got a lot to do. But if you're somebody who's been playing for a long time, like me, you don't have quite as much. What is this? This is a Dark Jolteon. He's just loose in the box, huh? Oops. Take off that old sleeve. Put this on. Petty. I mean, he's more of a 9. It's a great looking card, though. Every game should have an option to skip cutscene, especially when starting over. Exactly. Anyone who disagrees with this is just forcing their own views on their customer. And you're not supposed to do that. Your customer's supposed to decide. Yeah, for sure, Pug. It's a great game. I've played the heck out of it. So this is the jungle set, but it's not first edition. I think I'll hold off. But let's take a quick look at them. I tell you what, let's leave them up. That just looks really clean. Maybe it's a 9. It's Cloyster. Slowbro from Fossil. That Slowbro could honestly be a 10, I think. Arbok. That's off center. Ekans. It's off center the other way. This is off center. This is off center. It's way off center. This is off center. This is off center. Is this an off center set? That son of a bitch. He sold me an off center set. That's what he did. He said, you know, these are off center. Now this one's on center. Mr. Fuji. He looks like he has a real shot at a 10, really. But it's just an unlimited Mr. Fuji. I'm not going to go through the trouble. Not today. That's off center. It's a 9. Shelter. More of a 9. Krabby. Hey, mister, still awake? How's it going, man? Talking a little quieter because I'm thinking. Geodude. And a second Krabby Patty. All right. Place that back in there now. What else we got in here, huh? Pikachu, Jolteon, Shuppet, Slugma. All right, these went in a while ago. Evoli. Shadowless Bulbasaur. Worn down Shadowless Bulbasaur. Shadowless Metapod. And oh, these are worn out. Shadowless Caterpie. Shadowless Ponyta. All right, so just some odds and ends, really. What is this? Is this another bag, except it's going to be worn out, actually. It looks worn out from the back. I'll worry about that later. My brain's getting tired doing this. It's taking a lot of concentration. So these are all sleeved up. These are lovely. Drop that back in there. Sweet. All right, guys, that's the end of the stream. No, I'm just kidding. Wow. So were you guys enjoying that? Watching me go through those? There we go. Put that away. Sweet. Well, we are at 114 minutes. You guys haven't really had the chance to, you know, open your own packs, I'd say. So if you wanted to, you could do it now. But I think we'll kind of call this as a last round. So if you were hoping to open up some cards in the live stream, you'll probably want to do it before I wrap it up. Gunlance seems tedious. What? No, not really. Gunlance is pretty simple, actually. I think it's simple. All the weapons are simple if you learn them. Only a few aren't. Something like the Charge Blade. That's a tedious weapon. So you've got a lot of decision making to make. Gunlance is simple. Maybe what you mean is monotonous. The Gunlance can definitely be monotonous. Tedious is like when you have to work with an annoying amount of small details. Like when you look at a million common, uncommon Pokemon cards. Charge Blade was my first weapon. Love it, says Suka. How's it going, man? I like Charge Blade too. Speaking of which, I gotta work on more of those endgame builds. It's funny though, because we don't know when Elytrion's coming out. There's no rush. Ah, man, we need new content so bad. Professor Vince says, Switch X for the win. I know, right? TCC, I'm going to go to sleep. I sent you a DM of cards. Don't know if it's any good. Yeah, you know what, guys? I think I should go to sleep as well. So that's going to be the end of the live stream. Thanks for joining me, guys. I will probably be back on Monday at a more reasonable time. I'm going to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.